The greatest challenge awaiting you is living and working in the world. Traditionally, seekers of the infinite light have renounced society and gone into places of solitude to meditate, pray, fast, practice various spiritual arts, and to gain a sense of community, of fellowship with others who speak a kindred language. If we look back at the history of spirituality, we see that the great enlightened souls were often very reclusive. Very few of them really entered into the world. The reason they did this is certainly self-evident. Most people in this world are not interested in light and spiritual development. They're still playing their war games, their oppression games. They're still trying to limit others in the name of their own happiness. In today's world, we live in a media jungle. All of us are joined together by media, even if you live out in the far reaches, because in an instant, through the marvelous aid of electronics, you can be in touch with any part of the world. Many spiritual communities have flocked off to the woods. They still do today. But it is my belief that you really can't escape the vibratory energies of this world. So in advanced spiritual practice then, it is no longer necessary to run away from society or the world. As a matter of fact, it's detrimental, because one wants to be neither attracted nor repulsed. If you're interested in being of service to the people of the world, it's a good idea to be around them. We live in a world of careers. We live in a world of billions and billions of people. And work, as Sri Krishna points out in the Bhagavad Gita, is a necessary path for everyone in attaining enlightenment, because it's something that we all do. It's been my observation that one of the greatest mistakes that people make who pursue self-discovery, in my opinion, is that they neglect to work on and develop their careers.
Working is not a 9-to-5 experience. It's a lifetime. For most people, a tremendous amount of time goes into their work. It's the main thing that we do in life to sustain ourselves. It's a very important thing, and it consumes a great deal of our energy. And the conservation of energy is the central study or the component theme of Buddhist practice, of yoga. People spend most of their time and energy working, and it would be a difficult thing if we couldn't gain something more than just dollars and cents from working. Career success is using your daily work, schoolwork, work in the world, work at home, and specifically career itself as a way of advancing your mental state. Also, obviously, career success means making enough money to lead the kind of life you'd like to lead as a practicing Buddhist, to be able to live in the kind of house in the right energy area, to have the kind of car or whatever it is that you need to shelter yourself from the abrasive forces of life that would be draining to you and keep you in lower states of mind. So the purpose of work is to make enough money to shelter yourself, to live well, in other words, and happily and successfully in a material sense. Also with work you can make money to assist others, if you enjoy that, to pay for your own spiritual practice, to advance yourself, and just to have fun. But by and large, I define career success as using your work to advance yourself spiritually. Work is a great way to meditate. If you use work as meditation, if work becomes meditation, then 8 hours of work is 8 hours of meditation. It's still important to do a morning and evening silent meditation, meaning a sitting meditation, because it's an entirely different level of experience. So that's how a Buddhist uses career. And any career, being a doctor, being a lawyer, anything can be used to advance yourself. The key is to have that sense, that possibility, that I'm working not just to get paid, but I'm working to advance myself, and that there's an inherent power in my career to advance myself spiritually. In other words, you shouldn't create a break, a syntactical break in your mind between your career in your religious practice?
I recommend for many people the study of computer science. It's our country's #1 business now, and it will only become more so in the coming times as the economic climate of the world changes. It's our natural resource. In America, it's the mind. The mindset used in computer science is very similar to the mindset that we use in Zen and in the more advanced stages of self-discovery. And programming will aid a person in developing their mind and will aid their meditation, in my opinion. It's nice to pick a career that really taxes your mind, because as you use your mind in new and creative ways, not just doing routine tasks, you'll find that your mind will develop and become stronger, which will aid you in your meditation and in your self-discovery. Also, it's good to pick a profession that will give you enough money to give you the economic freedom to go where you need to go and do whatever you need to do and have whatever you need to have. Any study where you're using the body or mind intensively and constantly pushing yourself forward to new forefronts of knowledge, these will aid you the most. But pick anything, it doesn't matter. Pick whatever makes you happy and will fulfill your economic necessities.
So what I would suggest is to make as much money as you can in a career that you like. And when you work, you should do a superlative job. When you work, you should do it with excellence, because whenever you work with excellence, that adds to your consciousness. You should do everything perfectly and keep working at it, because if you feel that your work is part of your yoga and you do that 8 hours a day, all the energy you put into it will advance your consciousness, your meditation, and everything else.
Career, then, is absolutely essential, and it's a wonderful way to develop, of course, all kinds of good karma and to perfect yourself. It's necessary to have a strong focus, and work will give you that focus. What's most important is your intent, and if your intent is proper and you pick from among the choices available to you what seems most exciting and also practical, one that you can actually go out and do and succeed at, then you will find career success. Career success will come to you. Career success is an inner feeling, a stillness that will come to you, not because of what you do, but because of why you do it and how you approach it.
Think of career as a vehicle. So the central point, really, in the teaching I do, is career. Since we spend more time doing it and more energy is expended in it than anything else, career becomes the most important item in our agenda to turn into a meditative form, a practice that makes us happy, that makes us wise, that makes us balanced, that develops our sense of humor, that develops our concentrative and meditative powers, and that enables us to go into interdimensional realities that are bright and beautiful and empowering. Since you spend perhaps 2 hours a day meditating, or maybe just an hour if you're new to meditation, half an hour twice a day, and maybe 10 or 12 hours devoted to the career between the commutation and the dressing and going to school or the homework, that's a lot of time. If that time is turned into meditation, then you live in a high level of energy all the time. Your mind advances rapidly and you just dash along the path to more and more beautiful vistas. You experience deeper ecstasy through working, through going to school.
Then approach your career from that standpoint, and you'll see you'll have a very different career. You're much more apt to be successful. You will be successful. In other words, just to adopt these ideas and live them is career success. Your career now will bring about a high level of empowerment. That's the success.
It's a very powerful, very potent way to free yourself materially and to advance yourself spiritually. So career is yoga. Career is the Buddhist practice, because it is what we do with our lives. And if we make that a spiritual thing, a thing that gives us energy and enlightenment, then enlightenment can't be very, very far off, can it? Career is one of the pathways to enlightenment.
It's necessary when you deal with the world to adapt a certain attitude And that's to be very unattached, to work very hard for those around you. Don't feel that you have to fit in. It's not necessary. If your work is good and if you're pleasant, that's enough. Some people who are spiritual seekers, when they work in the office, they make themselves targets. They make themselves very accessible. You think that you're better than the people there, and actually you're not. No human being is better than another human being. All are equal. So blend. That's the key word. Blend. Be pleasant, be nice. Do your best for all. But if people don't speak the same language you do inwardly, respect them. But don't feel that you have to necessarily become close to them. Follow your intuition, in other words. If you follow the crowd, you end up where the crowd goes. If you wish to enter into the world of light and delight, you have to walk to the beat of a different drummer.
Think about these things and see if they make sense to you. And if they make sense to you, adopt them as policies in your inner life. And if you do, you'll find that work will no longer be a 4-letter word. It'll be a 3-letter word, fun. It's not what you do, it's why that determines the karmic result. The karmic result meaning, if you work for these reasons, you'll find work will be pleasant. You'll go into a very high state of consciousness while you're doing it. You'll actually enjoy it tremendously. And you'll do better at it because you will seek to bring a level of perfection into your work that others don't.
That's the secret.